Today's nail design features this split chevron with multiple colors. For this design you'll need a thin art brush, a steady hand, and the polishes. The polishes I've used will be listed below in the description. Beginning with just one coat of polish on your nail, you're going to first add your guide. I'm using a white polish. I'm using kind of a sheer polish because I do want to hide these lines later. And you'll see I do two guides down the center, and then I add my chevron shapes of different widths. You could certainly use tape for a design like this. I just think it would take far too long waiting for it to dry in between each of the stages. So for me, freehand. Once you're happy with the guides you've added to your fingernail, you're going to need to allow that to dry, and it won't take very long with just thin lines like that. And then you're ready to begin coloring in the shapes. This next step is quite time consuming, but the end result is worth it. So you'll see I'm just taking my polish and my thin art brush and I'm filling in the chevron shape. In this case, you don't want to color inside the lines, but you also want to color that initial line that you created on your nail. I have to give my husband credit for this design. He took a picture of some bedding in a flyer that he saw and said I should do a nail design to match, so that's where this came from. You'll see I've moved on and I'm now adding a color to my nail and I'm butting it up against the initial chevron shape that I filled in. So you'll see here, this is where it's really important that you're covering the guide that you initially placed on your nail, because the design is to have each of the chevron shapes butting up against each other. Depending on the polishes you use, you may need to go back and add a second or a third coat, and you'll see with my yellow it does show the gray through a little bit, so I do go back and touch that up once that's dried. It's important to remember that even though you've done a base on your nail of the gray, it was just a thin coat, so you will need to fill in the gray chevron shapes as well. And you'll see this chevron shape I'm working on now, I actually split it into two and added a thinner black chevron to my nail. Continue along and fill in your nail until your design is complete, and make sure you allow it to dry fully before applying your top coat. For the index and pinky, I've chosen to do just a gray nail with a gem. My thumb is done the same as my middle two fingers. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you liked the video. Please comment, share, subscribe, and thumbs up are always appreciated.